Hey guys, I'm Chloe and I bought this house for $97,000 with everything in it. I'm calling it the treasure house, and today we are celebrating because we hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you guys so much, and in honor of that, I'm going to be doing a story time about the time a stray cat gave birth in our house without our knowledge or consent. Let's get into it. Our story starts back, all the way back to my mother's childhood and then to my childhood, where there was an enduring story she would tell us, which was that every single night before bed, as a child, she would pray and she would ask God, God, when I wake up, please let there be a kitten under my bed. And then every single morning for years, she would wake up, jump up, so excited to check under her bed for that kitten, and it would never be there. And honestly, I kind of had a little bit of beef with God for that as a kid, because I was like, my mother is a nice lady. She is a nice woman. She probably was an even nicer child. God, you couldn't have just given her a kitten under her bed just one time? Just like a sympathy kitten under her bed? I mean, she wanted one so bad. That was what she prayed every single night. Now, she was allergic to cats, so maybe that was divine providence that she didn't get it. But still, I was like, really? You couldn't have just given her a kitten? And now, actually, too, hearing that story as a kid, I was like, this is genius. You can just pray and ask God for something under your bed? Okay, let me just... God, I want $1 million. That's what I prayed for. I prayed for God to put $1 million under my bed. Not as wholesome as my mom's prayer. The dichotomy, my mom, dear Lord, please give me a kitten. And me, I want $1 million. Like, how am I her offspring? Kind of selfish of me. Granted, I only prayed that 4 times because then I gave up. I didn't have the enduring faith that my mother had, but that's okay. Now, fast forward all the way to the time of the treasure house. If you want to know the full story of the treasure house, I will link it around here. But I put in the offer on the house contingent on a home inspection. So then that Wednesday, I meet with the home inspector after he has gone through everything. He's showing me his pictures on his iPad, swiping through, telling me it's aesthetically ugly, but there's nothing structurally to worry about. And then he goes, congratulations. And I'm like, thank you. Yes, homeowner, that's so exciting. And he's like, no, congratulations on being a cat owner. And I'm like, oh, tell me more. This is the first time I'm hearing about this. And he said, you know, while he was on the roof, while he was outside, there was a little tiny cat that was just prowling around, but it wouldn't leave the fence. And it was probably just staring at him, judging him. So then I move into the treasure house and I'm keeping my eyes peeled for the little cat, and sure enough, the first day I spot it. It's in a little ball in the corner, and then it moves and it goes under the house, and then it's in the garden bed. It's always around. Now, I had never had a cat before, and it seems to be that no one in my bloodline ever had either. There's a lot of allergies spread around, so I didn't know anything about cats. I didn't know what they ate. I didn't know like what you do with them. Like, do you pet them? Do you like pat them on the head? Like, what do you do? I don't know. And so I was seeing it and it was so skinny. It was like skin and bones, and I was feeling bad for it. So I was like, I am making myself eggs. I think I Googled it. I'm like, maybe the cat will want some eggs. What are you doing? Turn around. It's right there. Turn around. You know, I put out a can of tuna, and then here and there I would feed it because I saw it eating grass, and that was really sad. This little stupid okay. Oh, yes. Thank you. You're so close. You're literally almost there. Turn around. Okay, yes. Yes. Thank you. Love you. But I just couldn't commit to taking it into the house and making it official like that. I was like, we're not really there yet. We're just gonna kind of see each other in passing and say, hey, but I can't take the next step of like, you come and live with me in my house. And then another layer is that my sister moved in with me, and she is super allergic to cats, but she loves cats. So she was always advocating for us to bring the cat in, and I'm like, girl, don't you want to live But then as fate would have it, two things happened. The first of which was, as I was going through the desk, I found this picture. And I go, oh my goodness. This is the previous owner's cat. And I concocted a whole entire story in my mind of like, oh, the previous owner passed away and somehow the cat got out and now the cat is just crying and depressed every day because he doesn't know where the previous owner is and he's staying on the premises because he wants to be close but not too close. And then the cat's like, who is this ginger woman? Let me keep my distance. So that really twisted the knife of sympathy into my heart. And I was like, oh, to like respect the previous owner, I should probably take care of their cat. That was the altruistic motive. The second one was all business. It was a business decision, which is I was setting up a Christmas tree, and what do I see scamper across my floor? A mouse. Seconds later, I'm out there being like, come here, little kitty, come here, come here, come here. I have a job for you, come in, come in. And honestly, I think the cat did its job because I never saw that mouse again. Cat unemployment rate is plummeting at the treasure house. So after Mousepocalypse was narrowly avoided, we decided to have the cat stick around and we named him Finders Keepers. But then that got shortened to Keeps and then that got shortened to Meeps. Or not shortened, but just remixed. It was truly a rags to riches story. We took Meeps from his hard-knock life of poverty, put him in a palace. He was eating 3 meals a day, wet food, mind you, just living a life of luxury and of fatness. We started to notice he was getting a little chubby. As we were looking at his royal fatness, we were like, pregnant? Could he be pregnant, even though it's a he, even though we have no evidence that it's a he, it's just our own kind of vibe, the feng shui that he gives off. And so we were like, ooh, that could be real weird. But then we found out that we were double feeding him. So Meeps would be crying to me. And I'm like, oh, we haven't fed him. So then I would feed him. And then immediately later, he'd go to Ella and cry. And then she'd feed him. We were feeding him like 6 times a day. So no wonder he was getting triple XL. So then once we found out, we're like, oh, that's why. Okay, you text me when you feed him and I'll text you when we feed him and that will work out. So then a couple weeks pass and it's 5 in the morning and I get a call from my sister and I get woken up and I'm like, hello? She's like, Chloe, come upstairs right now. So I'm like, what? So I go upstairs and I open the door and there is Finders Keepers with 5 kittens. She gave birth to 5 kittens in my sister's room under her bed. Me and my sister are just like, what is life? Like, what is going on right now? Because we started with 1 cat and we are looking at 6 cats. So we're like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And I'm like, I know what to do. So I call up my mother and I say, hello, Miss God, please send me a kitten under my bed. And she's like, hi. And I'm like, God has answered your prayers. And my mom was so excited. She was like, oh, yay! And you know, I was like, not only did he answer it the one time, apparently you had racked up quite a backlog and he answered it once, again and again and again and again. Because there was 5 kittens. Also, they are so cute because the tortie, this is the tortoiseshell. Also, now I see in the comments that people are saying all tortoiseshells are girls. No one was saying that back in the day. So it's kind of, you know. But, okay. So this is Finders Keepers, and Finders Keepers is a tortoiseshell cat. And then her babies are all of the rainbow colors of the tortoiseshell. So you have like a black and white one, a gray and white one, a tan and white one, and then 2 black ones. So now we had officially entered our cat mom to kittens era. I don't know how this far goes. If we are the mom of Meeps and Meeps is the mom of the kittens, then we're in the cat grandma. Oh my goodness. We were only cat moms for like 1 month and then we immediately got promoted. Having kittens is the most adorable, cute thing until it's not. Simultaneously while being the cutest experience ever, it's also the most stressful experience ever because it's super easy the first couple of weeks. Even though we really didn't know what we were doing, you know, that's Meep's job. She's got it. But once they were able to climb, that was so crazy because they would just climb out of their cage, and then this house was kind of a disaster zone. So one time we just came home and we had them in our living room area with a fence, and they were all gone. And we were like, when did they learn how to be sentient and move about the world? And so we found them, and then we were like, what do? We need an enclosure. So that's when we kicked Ella out of her room and we put them in Ella's room, the room where they were born in. It's very beautiful. They made their pilgrimage back to their birthplace, and that is where they stayed. But that was stressful because that room was still really messy. So we would go in there and they would, of course, be out of their cage, and they would hide in the craziest of places. They'd like hide in a shoe, hide in a hat, hide in the bookcase. It was super cute, but it was really stressful. And then another stressful thing, I've never told this story before because it was traumatizing, but now it's okay because it's kind of funny, but it's kind of horrible. Somehow they would open the door. I don't know if they grew opposable thumbs like overnight and then they vanished, but they could unlock the door and get out. And they were older at this point, and they kept somehow getting the door open and hiding. And we were so stressed because we're like, we just don't want you to die. Is that too much to ask? And so Ella came up with this configuration where she got a bunch of yarn, tied it to the doorknob of the door, and tied it to a different doorknob. So they were locked in. So in the middle of the night, Ella hears a persistent meow. So she gets up and she looks. One of the kittens had not only unlocked the door, somehow gotten the door open, even though it was tied with the string. They had rolled themselves in the yarn and then fallen down the stairs. And they were dangling there. It was wrapped around their body, thankfully, dangling from the string that was tied to the doorknob through the stairs, down the stairs. They were like an acrobat, and they were just flying and crying like, rah, rah, rah. And Ella was like, oh my gosh, what? Like, how did that even happen? Like, they stressed us out so badly. And we were like, what's the worst that could happen? That is the worst that could happen. They were literally auditioning to be the new Spider-Man, or like Zendaya and Zac Efron when they're like, what if we rewrite the stars? All I want is to fly with you. Like, that is what the performance that this kitten was giving. And after that, we were just like, I don't know how to help these kittens. They are doing entirely too much. So yeah, Ella didn't live in her room for like 3 months. And then it was time to say goodbye to the kittens. And they were so cute, but we were kind of ready because it was like, we were on watch, you know? We were always on watch. So we were like, okay. Also, cleaning a litter box for 6 cats is nightmare fuel. But guys, when you see the pictures, is this how like parents feel? It's like, that was such a crazy experience. But the pictures, they were so cute. They were so cute. And so it was perfect though, because we got to give away all the cats to our friends. And now they're all living their best spoiled lives out in this world. And including Squid, which we kept one of the kittens, the black one. There was 2 black ones, but we kept one of them and we named it Squid. And it's funny because there's not a single ounce of feralness. Like, I'm guessing the father. I know who the father is, by the way. The father is Muffins. It was a cat I saw like one time, and it was a spotted cat. And I know that was the father. But I just know that was the father. We're coming for you for child support payment, by the way. Those 2 cats are feral, but Squid is the most, like, don't care about anything. You can just pick him up any type of way, and he's just like, bleh. It was the cutest of times, and it was the worst of times, but also it was super fun, and I'm so happy that all of the kittens are in loving homes. Actually, my best friend Rachel, who I did the road trip video with, she has one of the kittens, and she has the Rewrite the Stars Spider-Man acrobat kitten, and he is crazy. she will send a picture of him like on the corner of her canopy. And you know, he was training for Cirque du Soleil. Hopefully he will get there one day because that truly was his dream. Also, the black cat and the black and white cat went to my friends and college roommates, and we didn't even coordinate this, but they named their black cat Shrimp. So it's literally shrimp and squid. Just an aquatic family. A couple final thoughts, which is one, maybe my future children are gonna find $1 million under their bed. That would be really cool. Secondly, you know how I said Ella was super allergic to cats? It's so weird. Okay, because you saw what her face looked like when she was allergic to cats. She is not allergic at all to Meeps or squid. And the other kittens, I think she was allergic to, but for whatever reason, I don't know the science behind it, she's not allergic to them, which is so fun. So yes, that is the true real life story about how a stray cat gave birth in our house to kittens by surprise. Wow, Rainbow Kitten Surprise, is that what they named it after? I just wanted to share that story on here in honor of 100,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. We have so many fun things in the works, including tomorrow, Wednesday at 12 p.m. I have a new full-length treasure house YouTube video coming out where I'm going to self-appraise different items that I found in the basement that will cover the whole journey through that. And on my YouTube shorts, I'm doing a whole entire series recapping the treasure house that has been going on for the past 2 years. With that, I'll see you guys later. Until next time.